All right, video 6 is going to cover 2 extra items that I just wanted to make a point on that don't have to do with the regular portion of my house. I'm going to show you my policy. Here it is. So as you can see, the top yellow line says that dwelling protection is $242,000. I'm reading backwards, so just help me on that. So that's what they would pay, and I nearly maxed it out with all of the reconstruction items. It was horrible. But look at the second line. It says other structure protection. That would be if I had buildings, like a storage building, which I don't, but that insurance portion of money would cover that. Then the second one says, what does it say? Personal property protection. So this is all of our furniture, clothing, jewelry, everything in here that, especially in a fire, would be damaged. To be replaced. I get that much to replace my stuff. And if you look at it, it's not a whole lot when you're trying to replace everything. Thankfully, I didn't have to use that, which was great. And then loss of use protection. This is the one I wanted to talk about. Loss of use protection is also known as ALE, which is alternative living expenses. And as you can see, I have a grand total of $48,000 there in that budget. Well, I thought that meant that they would pay me alternative living expenses because I had to live out of my house, and I did for 10 months. We could not live here. And so what I didn't realize is only half of that can be paid without documentation. Meaning that I thought I was renting VRBOs and Airbnbs in the beginning, just trying not to be a burden on anybody, and I didn't really have any other options. And so they paid about $20,000 in costs for that time period. But then I got the bright idea that I would move in with my mom, and she generously offered us to do that. And I would take that ALE and put it towards all of the money that I was short on this house, which in the end ended up being about $40,000. Okay, so I was like, oh, I can take that ALE and I can put it towards that. But it didn't work that way, and I understand it. And they would only do half without documentation. So after that, you have to be submitting receipts that you're paying for an Airbnb and a VRBO. So please, when you're looking at your policy and you see that big number, and the first, 10, 15,000 is easy to get. Easy to get. They give it right to you. They want you to have a place to stay, and that's wonderful. But don't think that money's going to continue to roll in, because it's not. So just keep that in mind. ALE is important. It's good to be used, but it's not free money. And if you're counting on it to do anything, if you're going to make a sacrifice, if you're going to rent an RV and put it in your backyard, or borrow a friend's RV and think, oh, I can save that money and put it towards the house fixing, it's not going to work. They're going to require documentation. So, lesson learned there. Shouldn't have had that thought. I don't know what I was thinking. I think I was just desperate. I didn't know how I would finish my house. But anyway, so that's ALE I wanted to talk about. The other thing is content manipulation, which is part of that whole personal property plan. So when you have damage, they will pay for a company to come and pick up any items that need to be moved and store them. So we used United. That's who the restoration company used, was United, and out of Columbia, I think, or South Carolina, I'm not sure. But anyway, they paid this company to come in. I will tell you that it was terrible. Do not do that. Do not allow your restoration company to hire a company to come and move your stuff. The best thing that you can do is hire the company yourself and be present and there when they take your items. Make sure they're clearly marked. I will tell you, this company lost 4 of my pieces of furniture, and every other piece of furniture they took was damaged. Every one. Even down to my camp stove. They took my camp stove. The knobs are gone. I can't even turn on my camp stove. I mean, every piece of furniture has dings and knots in it. And again, they lost 4 pieces. Now, they reimbursed me for that. They did. They gave me comps. They comped me out on that. But it was very frustrating. Another thing is that they stored my stuff for 4 months. They picked it up and they stored it, and they brought it to my mom's house, and it was $11,000. $11,000, y'all. I cannot believe the cost of that content manipulation. I could have hired a company and put it in a local storage building and have my stuff safe and nearby, and then hired the company to come and move it back for, oh my gracious, maybe 5,000. You know, I mean, so it was just ridiculous. Do not do that. Do not have the restoration company do your content manipulation. Hire your own. And if your restoration company tells you that you can't contract your own work and you can't use your own service providers, do not believe them. Hire who you want.